How you doing, gardeners? Ed Snyder with Fresh Picked Acres of Kansas. In today's video, we're talking about determinate tomatoes and how we manage them in our high tunnel. There's a lot of videos out there. There's a lot of good videos on the web. That being said, I want to show you how we do ours. In my last video, I showed you how we plant our tomatoes using blood meal, meat and bone meal, and lime to get our tomatoes going. Now we're in the other house, and we planted these back in mid-April, and so these tomatoes are starting to put on their fruit now. We're near the middle of May, so let's talk about how we do it. Now, one thing that I've learned with determinate tomatoes in a high tunnel is you want to have just one main vine. You want to pick off them suckers. The whole reason behind this, by picking the suckers, is you give yourself a bigger, more meatier slicer tomato, something that we want as to go on our hamburgers. And at the same time, it's also something that our customers want at the farmers markets. So how do we accomplish that? Now, there's a lot of different kinds of lowering type of deals. What I have here is something that we picked up at Johnny's. I don't know who it is, but it's very simple in its design, and you just basically pull this to the side and it'll go down, and you'll release it and it'll go down one click. It'll hold it. Hopefully you can see that little notch on there, and it's just that simple. And today we're going to get some tomatoes started, and as far as we don't have to worry about lowering anything today because our plants are too small, but we are going to sucker our tomatoes and maintain the fact that we have the one vine growing. So stay with us as we as I show you our 20 by 48 greenhouse. Glad to have you along, and like always, hit that like button and that subscribe button and come grow with us. Another tool we're going to need in addition to our string, whatever design you want to do, is we're going to need to have a tomato clip. Now, the tomato clips are really, they're wonderful in design. I wish I would have thought of it. But the clip itself has a spot right here that as it closes, it'll bind on your string. And then, of course, it snaps into place. So let's go ahead and get to it. One of the things I want to try to emphasize is to try to avoid putting the clip where as the plant grows, of course, it doesn't grow into the clip, creating a restricted location. The second thing is make sure there that you try to position it so you don't have any fruit dropping into it, because the tomato will want to try to grow through this if there's a fruit and a flower in it or something like that. So just a couple little things we're going to do. So what we're going to do is we've already got the strings up, but we need to go ahead and we need to continue suckering, and we need to be clipping these tomatoes as it grows, because we don't want them leaning over and falling over. So we're going to get doing that. Let's start out here with the cherry tomatoes, and I'll show you how we do that. So as we look at this black cherry plant, we have a couple suckers here, and we want to go ahead and pull them as young as we can. If you have a problem, usually you're going to find your leader is going to have, because sometimes you're going to want to split. You're going to have a leader with the fruit coming on. So if you have any questions of whether or not that's we want to maintain that one leader. So if we have any questions, just wait a little while and let it grow a little more. I'm going to come down here just below that fruit, or below that stem. And what will happen is this is going to continue to grow above it. So we have this one done. We're going to keep going here. Let's look at one that is right. Cherry tomato. I'm going to go ahead and pick this sucker there, and she is wanting to continue to grow forward. It's pretty obvious. We have our fruit set there. I'm going to go ahead here and just come below that limb, and I'll add that one, making sure I don't have any like that. There's some fruit. There we go. So we get the fruit out behind that string. It won't hurt it a bit. Continuing on down here, you know, there's a sucker down here and a sucker here. And go ahead, always, like always, check down below. And handling these will also, you know, that'll help set some fruit well with it. I'm going to let this, we have a sucker here, if you can see that. The sucker's right there, and we have our leader over here. So let's go ahead and get this sucker, because they will want to continue to vine. And I'll go ahead and put a clip right up here, and I'm going to make sure my string doesn't bind up in the string, and we're good there. So now it's going to continue growing up, grabbing my bag of clips. We have a couple things again. We have it's wanting to split, so I'm gonna go ahead and pinch this guy off. Pinch off this sucker. We only want 1 leader, and you can see, you can pick out the leaders pretty good because you have growth above your cluster. So I'll go ahead here. Cherry tomatoes, it seems to me that they're the most cantankerous for wanting to grow above. I'm going to move that one out of the string. So we have that guy done, and let's go ahead, take a break from the cherries, and let's head over here to the beefsteak. They're still doing very well. Now we've already suckered these, but you see we have more suckers wanting to grow. So let's get rid of those guys. And this one's doing pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and stick. At the very beginning, it seems like it's the most debatable whether you want to put a clip on or not, but once they get taller, it's pretty obvious where to go with everything. But we have that guy clipped in. Yep, it's solid. We'll go to the next one. Pull that sucker off. Everything looks pretty good right here. I'm going to let this one grow a little bit more, get some distance on it. Here we have ourselves a nice beefsteak tomato coming on. Now, once this cluster gets to about 4 tomatoes set, I'll probably go ahead and pinch the rest of these. That will ensure that I have a really nice sized tomato. We have a cup. I'll clip this right here. If you notice, it's wanting to split. So let's take that guy out, and we have a small sucker happening right there as well. Maintain that 1 fruit per, or one main vine per plant. There we go. We have that one clipped now. I think we're in good shape. So again, looking at the tomato, we have ourselves a sucker here, and then we get up here near the top. We're looking for something to want to continue on the path. This one here is our main vine. You can see it, but at this case with this plant, it's wanting to fork at that spot. So we'll go ahead and remove that particular sucker. I think we're supported good enough here for now. Again, I come in here a couple times a week. I come in here daily, but you're going to want to check it, make sure you're, especially in these early days while the plant is young, continue doing it. Even like right here, I have a big sucker I just found. It happened. You think it happens overnight, but you probably just missed it. But these plants are in their growth stage right now, and they're really wanting to grow. They're really wanting to take off. So we just need to kind of keep making sure that I have a sucker right here at the point. And again, make sure, if you're in question, let it grow a little bit more to identify your leader, whether you've identified the leader or not. Usually the leader will always have some fruit right underneath of it. So, but if you're in question, just hold off, let it grow a little more, then you can pinch that sucker the next time you're coming through, because they will be growing pretty fast. Same thing with right here. I have a sucker down below my fruit. If you're in any question, just pinch suckers below your fruit and you'll be okay most of the time. Never say never, but it's usually pretty good. This guy, he's well balanced, as is that one, so we can move on. And the main thing is to protect the size of your fruit. Allow just one vine to mature, and this guy's still doing okay. I hope this information helps you for your tomatoes, whether you're growing outside or inside of a high tunnel. The system will work both ways, whether you're using cattle panels or whatever you're using. To have the largest possible fruit, you're going to want to pick the suckers, and you want to maintain one main vine. And as the plants mature, to maintain a big fruit set, after you have 4 tomatoes that are set on there, go and start pinching off the flowers to allow the plant to continue to grow in other areas, and to back off on fruiting on that particular set of blossoms. We have a lot of different blossoms here, but in order to maintain a nice large fruit, we'll go ahead and pick some of them blossoms off of there, leaving just 4 tomatoes per stem. Thanks a lot for watching, and like always folks, hit that like button and that subscribe, and come grow with us.